Now for the show that's truly too hot to handle. It's The Melting Pat, and it starts right now.
You're listening to The Melting Pat. Here's your host, Pat Johnson.
Thank you, Jerome. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the show, The Melting Pat. How are you? Doing great, I hope. It is raining for the 740th day in a row or something here, and it's been rough. It's been rough, man. It's after Memorial Day. I should not have to have the heat on down here because it's dreary and gross. Gross. Sorry, I just did a $3 bonus for the patrons that I didn't plan to do it, but I got really fired up and just kept talking. And then, 25 minutes later, there we were. So sign up for that, patreon.com/themeltingpat. I talked about some real stuff. So sign up over there, pay me $3 a month, and you can get more me. All right? You want to hear me do some yelling, uncensored? Then we can do that. Okay? Thanks. Thanks a lot. I'm not mad at you. I'm sorry. How are you, though? Are you okay? You doing all right today? All right, good. Good. Glad to hear it. Today is a big day. We have a guest, our friend Jason Didner, longtime friend of the show, who has been, let's call him an active listener. He answers the questions. He sends feedback. And I learned, and you're all going to learn, that he and his wife actually quote things from my show in their everyday life. And that was really cool. So he is here to promote the new Rock Against Hate compilation, which we're going to talk all about. We're also playing a new song from him, and I'm really looking forward to hearing that, getting that mouth riff. I haven't listened to it yet just because I wanted to get this done first, and then I can really dive in and get that mouth riff. So looking forward to that. So yeah, anything else I got to tell you before we move on and you hear from Jason and I chatting about all kinds of stuff. Songwriting, he answered the question at the end of the show. We talked a lot about the compilation and the work that the Rock Against Hate group does. And anything else? Probably some other stuff. I don't know. I will say, though, I did make a joke that, so the conversation started, we had planned to do it earlier than we actually could, and I made a joke that didn't really land, but it came up again later. So yeah, I made the joke that Jason was on New Jersey time, when really what it was is both of us were doing it on breaks at work, and those times just shifted. That's all. So we hopped on the express, as it were, and we talked about a whole bunch of stuff. So there we go. We did the thing. As we say, we did the thing. Oh, by the way, you can find more from Jason at jasondidner.com, JASONDIDNER.com. And you can find out more about Rock Against Hate at rockagainst.hate.org. All that information will be in the show notes. So there we go. Did we cover everything? I hope so. I think we did. Yeah. We talked about a bunch of stuff. We played a new song. He answered the question. And I'll be back to fill you in later after the thing. All right? Because I got to do the mouth riff. It probably doesn't sound like that, but I don't know. Anyway, here's me talking to Jason Didner. You and I are not that different, because when I see topics come up in the world, in the universe, online, wherever, I turn them into show segments. You turn them into songs.
I do.
So, first of all, thank you for not being another podcast bro, because we don't need any more of those. And second of all, was this something that you sat down and planned, or did this just kind of happen where you're just thinking of, you're in the car, you're having breakfast with your wife, you're sitting at work or whatever, and you just have a thought pop into your head, like, you know what would sound good? 12-bar blues under this, and then just kind of go from there. How did this kind of this gimmick kind of start for you? That's the wrong word, but
the whole ripped from the headlines thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I think it's pretty much honest emotional reactions to what I'm hearing. For the most part, if something's going on in the world that bothers me, I want to respond to it. And so maybe a phrase comes to mind, something that could be a chorus, and then I write words around that. And as I'm writing the words have a rhythm to it. And that rhythm kind of dictates what the melody's going to do. And from there, I might find a chord progression that's going to work with it. But it all flows from the idea. It all flows from the thing I really feel compelled to say.
So do you start generally with lyrics or music, or do you switch between one or the other?
Almost always lyrics first. And yeah, when you talk about my wife Amy writing with me, which she does often, we're often writing a song before we even know we're doing it. You know, we're having a conversation, and one of us will say something a certain way, like a phrase, and one of us will go, "Oh, that should be a song." But it's always from the idea. It's almost always from the lyric first. There was one exception where I came up with this guitar riff that Amy, I played it for Amy, and she said, "Well, what does that make you think of?" And I just blurted out, "It's gonna be all right," and that song became Each Other's Heroes. We're gonna be all right. I'm looking out for you.
Wow, that's pretty cool. It's so cool when like songwriting is so awesome in that like you have this idea, like you think of a phrase or you think of a little riff like and then all of a sudden that's just for you, by the way. I
Love
know
the
you're a
mouth
fan of
riffs.
those.
Very much so.
And like you start with nothing and then you start with a phrase and then all of a sudden an hour or so later, or if you're me, months later, you have a song. And that's really like just the whole process is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
also
it's,
impressed that you start with lyrics and finish them because I have so many notebooks of have like quarter verses, quarter of a chorus, something like that are just sitting unfinished. Like if I start with lyrics, there's a 92% chance that song is never getting done.
well, that's the sauce in your freezer ready to go. That
In a
stuff.
manner of speaking, sure.
Yeah, 'cause I'll come back to an idea that I have from months ago and finally have a song structure for it or where I'm going to go with it. But yeah, some of them I do come up with those quick ideas and then I put them away and I come back to them much later.
Yeah, it's cool to have, kind of arrows in the quiver. But you actually get them done, which is super impressive because finishing songs is not the easiest of tasks.
For sure. Yeah. But I think when I have other songs that seem to live in that universe, I'll feel compelled to go back to my song notes and say, okay, well, I need this many more to have a complete conversation that can become an album, and this would fit with it. So I think that will usually push me off the starting block to say, okay, let's turn this into a song.
Let's finally go back and reach back into the freezer, get it unstuck from the back, get it, pry it off the shelf, get the chisel out, right? And finally get in and make this, like finish this story that we're telling, whatever that
Yeah,
might be.
exactly.
Yeah. Did you actually take an underwater basket weaving course, by the way? I need to know.
Well, my mom had always used the phrase underwater basket weaving to hike on a school that doesn't have a serious academic program. It's like, don't go there. They only teach underwater basket weaving.
My mom would say the course wasn't serious.
Which, would actually be a very difficult class.
Yes, that's exactly the conversation Amy and I ended up having. A bass player in our band who's much younger than us, she was taking college courses and engineering courses, and she wasn't available for a gig. And Amy said, well, she's taking heavy courses. They're not exactly underwater basket weaving. And I said, that would actually be really hard.
Yeah, it's always like, oh, the basket weaving. Oh, they do basket weaving. But have you ever tried to weave a basket?
In the video, I took a basket apart that I bought in a dollar store and I tried weaving it together in front of the camera. And yeah, it was kind of tough.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, so then just do that in the pool, and there you
With
go.
a scuba suit on.
Yeah, yeah. We've already played that song, but I wanted to have you, since you're here, I wanted to ask you about it. If you've ever have you ever gotten an A? Did you get an A on that? What do you think? What would you give yourself for that?
For entertainment value, I'd give it an A. For basket quality, not much better than a D.
All right, so we average that out to what, like a like a C plus, B minus?
C plus, sure.
Hey, that's passing. You passed. You still get to graduate.
Okay.
Your
D
final
for degree.
elective. Yes, your final elective is done.
Yep.
Fantastic. So you're here to promote a thing. I know we're really moving along here, but we're adults who have things to do. And what you're really here for, though, is there's another compilation for Rock Against Hate, and it is coming out
That's right.
June 6th, correct?
Yes.
And there's a webathon the same day?
Yeah, they're now calling it a radio special rather than a webathon.
Okay, so radio special on blowupradio.com. Do I have all
Yes.
this? Am I right so far?
Blowupradio.com, yep, and
Okay.
rockagainst.hate.org. Now, one thing to keep in mind about Rock Against Hate is if you go to that site, it does redirect the URL in your browser, but the Rock Against Hate site will get you there.
Okay, good to know. So the link will be in the show notes. Everybody can go click on it. So this one benefits you. This is whichever compilation this is, but this one is benefiting the Trevor Project and No More Dysphoria, correct?
Yes.
Look at me. You sent me the email and I actually wrote it all down. So now we're good to go. So you've been doing a couple of these. This is at least your third compilation with this project, right?
With Rock Against Hate, yes, and Laszlo, the founder of Blow Up Radio, he's been doing compilations and radio specials and webathons going back at least 10 years. He does an annual one for ankylosing spondylitis, which is a condition his wife deals with. It benefits the Spondylitis Association, and he's actually benefited a number of causes over the year, including organ transplant. And since 2016, when an unfortunate election result came up, he's been doing Rock Against Hate compilations too.
It's a good way to put some positive energy back into anything, because there's been a lot of let's say negativity. We don't have to dive into all of it, but or any of it, but yeah, there's certainly, this is a good way to combat things that are happening that we're not fans of. How's that for being diplomatic?
There you go. 'Cause, we want dignity for all people, and people who feel their personhood differently than we do.
Yeah, they deserve to have all the same avenues we have to get things and exist and just kind of be themselves. And if you have a problem with that, then you're not a good person. There we go.
And-
We're being less diplomatic now, but we're being direct, which apparently is good or bad depending on who asks.
There you go. And you actually just in that comment there, you mentioned part of my song title, which is "I Want You to Be Yourself."
There we go. What a beautiful look at you. Do you listen to the show? All these beautiful segues that we make. You've never seen more beautiful segues. Nobody makes better segues than we do. So
Absolutely.
I want you to be yourself. Tell me. I almost did the impression, but I didn't. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel funny anymore. I want you to be yourself. So first question: is there a mouth riff in here that I can exploit and enjoy at the end of the song?
Let's see. Well, the opening riff goes.
My man, you have been practicing.
Absolutely, it's riff along.
Oh, that's wonderful. All right, so that's good. So listen out for my rendition of that or a different thing later on. So tell me about the song. How did you decide to include, or I guess how did you start to write this song, and did you write it with this compilation in mind?
I had written the song prior to even knowing there'd be a compilation, and when I first wrote it, it was really around the idea of the critic we all carry inside ourselves that tell us that we cannot or should not be what we feel we are. So it's like for someone who has like a negative image of themselves, they feel like they don't have the right to maybe go to the beach in a bathing suit because they don't like their bodies. It's like, well, enough of that. Just be yourself.
So you're pushing past the inner monologue that says, no, don't do that. Do this. Yeah.
Right. I mean, even for myself as a musician, I feel sometimes the restraints of saying, hey, you're a career guy and a dad and a husband. What are you bothering with, music for? Well, that's part of who I am, and I want to be that. But then as I was getting into it, and as I looked back at the lyrics I had put on the page and how the music was developing, I'm like, ooh, this also has a lot to say about the LGBTQ community that I support.
Yeah, so a universal application, because everybody has that thought, right? That first thought of like, man, can I do this? Like almost imposter syndrome type stuff. Like, can I
Yeah.
actually do this? Like even when I'm making the show, it's like, is anyone going to like this? Is this going to be fun for everybody else? Am I going to just end up cutting this? Like, and it takes an extra beat to go, you know what? If I'm taking the time to make it and record it and put it together, then obviously somewhere inside my brain says, yeah, somebody else will like this too.
Yeah. And, it also goes nicely. One reason your show resonates so well with me is also, and something Amy and I quote all the time around the house, is like when you feel your own way of doing something and your own way of being, you can push back against, what you say. That's the way we've always ba.
That's right. That's right. That's what we always are. Yeah, that's what they all sound like to me.
Yep.
I'm glad that's given you laughs, by the way. Thank you for that. You're welcome. And thank you
Absolutely.
for sharing that with me. Yeah, the whole we have to do, for anyone who doesn't know, the whole idea that we've always done something this way and we should continue doing it solely because we've done it this way. Like, well, who said that? Do you say that, or did some dead guy say that 50 years ago? Right. So, yeah, tradition is, I can't remember the quote now, but it's traditions are something about dead people. I don't know. I see dead people. That's not it. But damn it, that would have been really profound if I could remember what that was.
Something like our inheritance from dead people,
Oh, I got it. Traditions are peer pressure from dead people.
peer pressure
That's what
from
it was.
dead people. Oh my God, that's a song.
Yeah.
And you should
There
write
you go.
it.
There you go. Oh, you're welcome. I'll let you know who told me that, and you can thank them too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow. So do you quote anything else from the show around the house?
Well, that's the way we've always ba. That gets us through like half of our commentary, I think.
I'm glad something sticks with you. I'm happy about that. So somewhere along the way, my ramblings stick in somebody's brain, and that makes me feel good.
Totally.
Makes me like, that makes it worth pushing past the imposter syndrome of, is anybody gonna like this? Yeah, Jason
Yeah,
and
I'm
Amy will like
proof right
this.
here. Yep.
Yeah, there it is. All right, I like this. I'm looking forward to the mouth riff. I'm looking forward to the whole compilation, because on the last two, I think I've played 3 or 4 bands from that, which is great. And I'm looking for. Do you know how many bands are on this or no?
On the compilation, let me see if there's a
Oh,
list yet.
he's checking his notes.
I
He's
know
checking
that
his list.
for the radio special, there are 6 acts, and will be kind of played. We'll do our live set, and then there'll be replays.
Okay. He's looking up his notes.
But there's a lot more contributions to the compilations than there are artists. And very poignantly, by the way, an artist that I always got a tickle out of, Jill Sobule. Tragically, she passed away recently in a fire, but
Oh no.
one of her tracks is contributed to the compilations.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to play that one in her memory. We'll have to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
So all right, so the radio special has at least 6 acts. And that's again June 6th.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
check my notes here.
He's calling Laszlo, the DJ from GTA Vice City. That's who Laszlo is in my head, by the way. It's the guy from Vice City. That's a joke for no one. But anyway, Jason's really focused. So either he doesn't play GTA or he just missed the reference.
Oh yeah, I don't think I've ever played that one. My gaming tends to be a lot of 80s and 90s retro games on the retro games website.
Okay.
They have all the old Atari stuff. They have the old Nintendo stuff.
Can't go wrong with those. He's also Jason. Also, I should let everyone know. Jason put on his glasses. He's really needing to read this right now, and I got to say, you look very distinguished, but also you look like every elderly relative that everyone ever has trying to read a computer screen or directions for the microwave. And
there you go. Oh, the worst is SIM card numbers.
No,
those I have to take a picture of and blow up.
Oh my god.
I'm an IT guy. I'm at my job now, actually.
An IT guy who can't see. This is the guy you want doing your programming, is someone who can't see can't read numbers. This is great. I love this. Yeah, he is really locked in. And maybe Laszlo didn't send it. Can we blame Laszlo for this delay? I can't.
Nah,
I don't know him.
Laszlo is on point.
Okay. All right. So it's
Laszlo
your
is
fault
very
then.
much on
Great.
point.
Okay. I'm going to cut all this out, by the way. No, that's not true. I don't get most things. Like if someone, I got really good I've done radio since 2008, and I got really good at filling for time, because every so often, or often enough, we would go, oh, I got to look that up, fill for time. And I would just have to go, okay, and just keep talking. So there's no dead air, like I'm doing now. Like I'm not saying anything of substance right now, but I'm filling the void so you can look up what Laszlo sent you. Have you found it?
I have found it.
Look at that. We did it again. Look at us.
Volume 7 has 21 tracks. Volume 8 has 22 tracks, and I have one on each compilation.
There you go. 21 and 22 on these next two compilations coming out June 6th. Rock Against Hate, again benefiting No More Dysphoria and the Trevor Project, just in time for Pride Month. Unrelated, well, kind of related to Pride Month. I'm still trying to find, I want to get a shirt with Crap Open a Cold One in rainbow letters for Pride. I've every like March, I start thinking about it, and then it gets to the end of May, and I'm like, crap, I don't have it yet. So I haven't figured out how to get, I haven't figured out how to find a good rainbow font. So if anyone knows how to get a rainbow font for my t-shirt business, not really a business, but I want my catchphrase in rainbow font for Pride Month. Something I've always thought of. And now that we're talking about a compilation for Pride, here comes the thought again. So there you go. Did anyone need to know that? Probably not. But now you do. Now it's in your head. You're welcome.
Okay, I see this happening in the near future.
I hope so. I really hope so. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here. This was, bit of an express version, but I still think we had fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nailed it. So I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. This is new from Jason Didner. Jason Didner, it's jasondidnermusic.com, right?
JasonDidner.com.
Oh, damn it. I screwed it up. Run it again. No, jasondidner.com. For more from him, I will share all of his stuff in the show notes. Again, June 6th, Rock Against Hate, a new compilation is coming. And we got Jason. Anything else you want to say about the song? Or if you want to get up on your soapbox real quick before we play the song, this is your chance.
Okay. Well, I believe that what's happening right now with this effort to write people out of existence, people that I see in my comings and goings, people who I know, if someone feels like they don't want to be confined to a specific gender, as their biology is one thing, but then another thing is, how you see yourself in the world, how you feel yourself in the world. And if someone wants to not go by their gender, it's their life, it's their experience, and we should let them live on their terms.
Beautifully said. And really, all I have to know in this case is what this person wants me to call them.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's the only way it affects my life is, oh, you're not going by this anymore? You want to go by this? Okay. Mental note. Got it.
And it's more than a little creepy that people actually want to have the right to look down someone's pants to see what gender they were born with.
It is very strange. And, how about we don't do that? Don't look down people's pants. We didn't. Unless they ask, unless they say it's okay. But don't look down my pants, please. Don't. No one is allowed to look down my pants. Thank you.
Mine neither.
There we go. Consent matters, folks. Consent matters. He's Jason Didner. This is I Want You to Be Yourself. It's the Melting Pat. We're coming right back.
That you belong, from a voice in you repeating, well, what if that voice is wrong? What if the mask you've been reaching for doesn't even fit you anymore? I want want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. Not who you're thinking you have to be. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. To know that you can be yourself with me. I want you to be yourself. The things you feel like hiding are the things that make you real. There's no need for criticizing the way you really feel. What if the mask you've been putting on hasn't made you happy all along? I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. Not who you're thinking you have to be. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. To know that you can be yourself with me. I want you to be yourself. You are enough the way you are, right here and now. No one can take that from you. No way, no how. You're more than how you measure up, so let's not compare. You were born to be outstanding, even if that makes you scared. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. Not who you're thinking you have to be. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. To know that you can be yourself with me. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be yourself.
There you have it, Jason Didner. Brand new. Exclusive, really. You can only hear that here for now. I want you to be yourself. The Melting Pat. We are back. Yeah, I went with the piano there, keyboard, whatever it is, and I thought that would be more fun. I mean, the bass was fun. Bum 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 bum. I kind of put them together a little bit, and then rounded it down at the end. How does that? Is that fun? Does that work for anybody? No. All right. Well, you know who's going to appreciate that is Jason Didner. I think that's really the important part. Is that the guy who wrote it is going to appreciate what I just did with my face. So there you go, jasondidner.com for more from him, rockagainst.hate.org for the compilation Friday, June 6th. That is coming out, and Jason has one song on each record, so there you go. And, the radio special, also Friday, June 6th. So there you go, all the stuff will be in the show notes. Thank you very much to Jason for joining me and for sharing the stories. And yeah, we got a little real. We got a bit real at the end. That happens, because I mean, listen, I got to give him credit because we didn't talk about that beforehand. I just thought it's the end of the show. It's the end of the interview. If you want to say something real, because we talked about, some real stuff with the song and the compilations and all that and the organization. So I thought, okay, if you want to talk about some real stuff, this is the chance. And then I liked that he went in that direction. So there you go. There you go with that. This is one where I didn't want to talk about this before because I didn't want you to kind of get in your head like I would have. But this is one where I wish we had like 3 or 4 more minutes, but really, I wish we didn't have such a time constraint. Because we did this, during breaks at work. And so while it wasn't stated like, hey, we only have 20 minutes or whatever, it was there where it was like, all right, we're doing this. It's great. It went well. But also in the back of both of our minds, and I think you can probably hear his phone ringing in the interview, where it's like, okay, we still have stuff to do after this, right? And so it happens, that's how life works. I'm grateful it happened at all, because that also, the other option was, oh man, I can't do it. And he would have sent in a little blurb like the captain does with the Flyers updates. He would have sent me, hey, we're talking about Rock Against Hate and this song and all that. And so that would have been in the show, and then I would have had to do more work and do a real episode. So thank you, Jason, for making the time. So then I didn't have to. So so we're all good. We're good. I think we're good, right? We handled all the stuff, and we had a good time. I had a great time. I had a great time. I'm not cutting that out. I had a great time talking to him. Finally, like he's been actively listening to the show for a long time, and so it's great to have him on. Great to play the new song. Again, a debut. I want you to be yourself. You can only hear that here until June 6th. So there you go, I think. Anyway, Jason, did you release that somewhere else and not tell me? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Thank you, my friend. That's it. That is it for the show. Well, stick around after the credits. We won't do G-Love today, but check them out at philadelphonic.com anyway. And we'll do my thing. That's me, by the way. We'll play that, and then Jason will answer the most important question that every guest must answer on the show. And so we'll do that. We'll play that, and then that will be that for that. That's a lot of that's. That is many, much more that's. Okay? We're good, right? Thank you. Next week, we may have guests. I don't know yet. Well, I hope so, because I sent the thing over, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, like I said, I'm never sure what's going to happen between now and then. So I'll tease it a little bit. I won't tell you who's coming, because even though you might already know. But I just want to make sure. Because if it doesn't work out, then there you go. Then it won't work. Then I have to do a real show. And that's disappointing because I already did the other work. But there it is. All right. Anyway, that's it for today. Again, rockagainsthate.org for more. JasonDidner.com as well. And for me, themeltingpat.com for more stuff from me. The newsletter, which is coming out. It's out already. I think it is anyway. It should be. And patreon.com/themeltingpat. You get a big bonus today. Or you get a big bonus on Thursday. And more me every month if you want. Okay? All right, we're good, right? We are? Yes, this has been an 8 Boylan production. Until next time, my friends, have fun. Be safe, thank a veteran. Wear your mask, wash your hands, get vaccinated and boosted when you can. Tip your wait staff, and of course, don't do anything I wouldn't do. We are good, right? Yes, don't be dumb. I love you. Thank you for being here. We'll talk soon. You've been inside the Melting Pat. Go crap open a cold one. All right, man. Cool. That was wonderful, but you are not off the hook just yet. I have one more question.
Okay.
I ask this of every guest, and I do judge you based on your answer. So this whole thing could be invalidated if you answer incorrectly. But I want you to think carefully. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Ooh, we've had this conversation, and my wife and I are what you call a mixed marriage on this because she says no. I say yes. Of course, it's like a 55-45 yes on my part, but I still fall on the line that it's a sandwich. It's meat between pieces of bread.
Okay. Well, I think we have to bring Amy in and have her say all the things you just said because that you gave me the wrong answer. It is not a sandwich. But thank you for playing. And because it's not two pieces of bread, by the way. It's just one. The hinge of the bread puts the hot dog in its own category.
Well, except that, let's say that you take like I make my daughter a half sandwich, right? So I slice the bread or fold it over and, put peanut butter or whatever. To me, it's still a peanut butter sandwich. Oh, and a taco. Remember that story where you said that a taco was considered a Mexican sandwich, so they were allowed to have their taco truck in the plaza?
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So I'm going with that loophole right there.
As long as you don't make it in a hotel bathroom, I think we're okay. I think
Very much agreed. Don't make your tacos or nachos or hot dogs in the hotel bathroom.
just don't bring any food inside your hotel bathroom. Certainly don't use any of the counter space for said food. God, that guy was gross. All right. That's a good place to end. I think that's fantastic. You got it wrong, but that's okay because your wife got it right, and I can give you half credit.
Okay. And circling back to the idea that I'm on Jersey time, I'm actually on Jersey time, musician time, and IT guy time.
So I should really be grateful this happened at all.
I am.
I think that's it. I think that you could have gotten back to me at 7 p.m. Be like, hey, man, I'm ready to go. Which would not have worked for me because I'm on dad time. So that would not have would not have worked. Yeah. But thank you for doing this, man. This was a lot of fun. I feel like we hit all the stuff. We're good, right?
Yep. Absolutely. We did the things.
Yes, we did. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Pat. Rock on.
Hey, clip.